All right, you ready, Arnie? Ready to try it?
I'm ready, man. So we're looking for 35 grams. Let's see how close I can get.
Think you'll get it on the first try?
36! 36! That's pretty damn close. Not bad for a rookie. Cilantro, onion, and lime are the must-have toppings for authentic street tacos. This is known as con todo, which translates to with everything. And it's also the best way to experience a taco. And in Austin, Texas, there's a bright orange taco truck called Con Todo that's making a mark on Texas taco culture. Joseph Gomez, the owner and taquero of Con Todo, is an RGV native who is bringing classic border town and northern Mexico tacos and flavors to the capital city of Texas. He's also a 2024 James Beard Award semifinalist for Best Chef, Texas. Some of the must-haves on the menu are choripapas, nopalitos, taco pirata, and one of the most iconic Frontera recipes, Bistec Estilo Matamoros. So in this video, we're sitting down with Joseph to learn more about his cooking journey and experiences, and we're also gonna hop in the truck to learn a bit about making tortillas and cooking up some delicious food. So y'all grab yourself a taco con todo and vámonos. You told me a little while ago you've been cooking since you were 13, 15?
Well, I mean, I've been cooking since I was like a little kid, but I've been cooking like as a job since I was like 15 to help my parents out with like bills and stuff like that. So I've just been cooking ever since then. Fell in love with it. I love cooking. I love working with my hands a lot. I worked in different kinds of restaurants, pizza, Italian food. I've done barbecue. I've done Thai food. Most of my experience of cooking Mexican food is just at home. Or just being with my family. Didn't even cook Mexican food professionally. Con todo was the first time I ever was able to do Mexican food professionally.
My assumption was that, you were already doing that. You already just kind of brought it up to Austin, but what made you decide to go in that direction once you came up here and created Con todo?
I think just missing back home, not seeing too much representation of the Rio Grande Valley, not just the Rio Grande Valley, but like all the fronteras, just missing that flavor. I don't try to veer too far away from what the original things are, just because you don't want to lose that soul. One of our staples is going to be the Bistec Estilo Matamoros taco. Growing up, we would always, if we went to taquerias, that's one of the things we would eat a lot. Or if we went across to Matamoros, we would find a spot and hang out and eat there. We also have a Choripapa tostada. It's our house-made chorizo with potatoes on a tostado with guacamole and quesillo. We also do our own flour tortillas. We do a mesquite one with the mesquite pods. We roast it and grind it into our flour. And we also make a butter-style tortilla, kind of just like modeled after H-E-B.
They're good.
They're super good.
Gotta say they're good.
So we do specials every now and then. We'll bring back the mollejas like you've had. Definitely my favorite. The other day we had a buche taco that we had on special. We like to do a bunch of different specials every now and then.
You make your own masa, right? You grind your own corn and stuff. Tell us a little bit about why and what is the passion and the reasoning behind that.
The basis of Mexican cuisine is maize and chiles and beans, things like that. So I think it's important to highlight those things and use really good ingredients and also support the farms and families that grow that corn.
It's also flavor, right? I
mean, it's the 100%.
When you compare that natural heirloom corn and masa to a store-bought tortilla that's been, in a bag, and they're not bad, the flavor is just like so different. I'm learning how to make corn tortillas, but I'm having trouble getting that puff. I've tried the little bit moisture masa, a little bit drier masa, and I haven't mastered the puff, man. So I'm here hoping you'll show me how to master the puff.
I got you.
We have this conico azul, it's a blue corn, and then we have this white one. It's also really, really good. It's gonna be a little more earthy, kind of sweet.
So you made that this morning?
Yes, sir. I usually weigh each one, but we have a tortilla machine where we feed the masa into. How busy we are, if we did everyone with a prensa, it would be very difficult. I would need one person doing that just all day. They're usually about a 35 grams.
Dude, you pretty much had it just by grabbing a piece. It was right there. Oh, wow. That definitely feels different than what I've been doing.
It's not sticking to your hands?
Yeah, it's not.
So you want it thin, but not too thin. So I'll usually let it go just for like a few seconds. You want, basically the masa will set on that side with the heat. Once it can kind of like move like that, I'll wait a little bit and then flip it over. On this side, I'll do another flip, but quicker. Just because that side dries really quickly, because it's already starting to dry out, and I don't want it to start cracking.
So there's part of my mistake. I was leaving it on way too long, where it was actually getting a little toasted on the other side. You could see the toast.
There's nothing wrong with a little color, but once it, like I said, if it dries out, then your tortilla's done. It's not gonna, it won't puff up.
All right, this one's had a chance to cool off a little bit. I gotta master that too. Ooh, I got it. This means it's a soft, perfectly cooked tortilla. Oh yeah, the flavor.
All right, you ready, Arnie? Ready to try it?
I'm ready, man.
Think you'll get it on the first try?
We're looking for 35 grams. Let's see how close I can get. 36! 36! That's pretty damn close. Not bad for a rookie. Give it a little press, not too hard. Flip it over the other way.
Lightly on that one.
And just a light little push. Can I lay it down just right? Ooh, almost. There we go.
Got it.
There it is.
See, you feel how it's like kind of set a little bit?
Yeah, I can tell it's definitely setting. So we want to flip it again.
Give it a little press.
Little press in the middle. Look at that. It's coming. That's the first time I've seen a puff on one of my tortillas. It's not just lay it down, flip it, and the bubble comes up. It's not quite that simple.
Good to go.
My first tortilla to actually get a puff. Yay. All right, let's try one more. You don't just throw it on, you just lay it on.
If you just throw it on there, you're gonna get air trapped under there. It's gonna create bubbles.
All right, we're good on this one. See that? Perfection. You gotta be able to roll it just like that. The name of your business, it's Con Todo. Tell us why you chose that.
I was trying to figure out a name. I didn't know what it was going to be. That just popped in my head out of nowhere. One, I mean, when you order a taco, ordering it con todo is, to me, it's essential. Like, if you have a taco that's just like bare, you're not going to have the best experience.
That's true.
The best experience to eat a taco was con todo.
You got to be able to put some onions and cilantro and some squeeze of lime and that salsa, right? So when you post on your social media and you say con todo, no subs, no mods, ni modo, what are we telling people?
I mean, we get so busy sometimes that we can't do all these different modifications.
No
you know, if we
custom
have like hundreds of tacos to make all at once and it's just two people in the trailer, like it's super difficult. And then two, like if it's something special, we're doing something very intentional, we want people to experience that dish or that special for it to be, you know, what it is. 'Cause if you take something away from it, it can completely change how the taco might taste. So we want people to have the full experience of like that dish or taco or whatever special we have.
It's not Burger King. You ain't gonna get it your way. It's con todo.
So we're just gonna make a little bit of guacamole. It's a little bit of salt, a little bit of lime, and then our salsa verde.
That's a quick and easy way to make a guacamole right there.
Let's try it, see if it's good.
Totopos, fresh made.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Boom. All right, Joseph, so now we have this other masa.
It's not as sweet as the other one. It's gonna be a little more like earthy. This one we're gonna make it tetela.
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 50 grams of masa. Let's try it.
So you're just gonna press it like a normal tortilla. Except this one we're gonna fill it before we throw it on the plancha. These are refried beans that we make in house.
Okay.
I like to have a little bit of texture in there still.
I see
don't like
that.
them completely smooth, so I'll like mash them.
So those are like
halfway.
stage 1, stage 2 beans?
Yeah, stage
in
two,
Architect?
I saw that video.
Something like that. And what kind of queso is this?
So quesillo is what they call queso Oaxaca.
Okay.
Because in Mexico they're not gonna call it queso Oaxaca. Pull the strands apart,
Lay it in there.
fold this into a triangle, and I usually use the plastic to help me out. So you'll fold one side, and then we'll do the other side, and then we'll do this side right here. And that just goes directly on the plancha. So this one will just go, you'll cook it on both sides until the ingredients in the middle heat through, and the masa is cooked through as well.
Are we looking for a puff on this one?
No, this
No
one's
puff.
not really gonna puff
No
too
puff.
much.
We're just cooking
You're
it.
just cooking the masa through. Do you have a favorite salsa?
I like them all, man. I wouldn't even say I have a favorite, you know. I mean, if it tastes good, it's got a little heat in there, I'm down.
Also, same thing. If the salsa is really good,
As long as it's good. Now, do we need to let it cool off a little bit?
yeah, it's
or-
like molten lava in there. Add a little crema.
Ooh, yeah.
Red or green?
Let's go green, man, just because. Yeah, buddy. All right, Joseph, let's tear into it.
Do it.
Man, look at that. Have that cheesy goodness in there. Beans, look at that steam. Oh my goodness, that's gonna be hot. That's gonna be hot. Somehow I always get too big of a bite.
Somehow.
He does.
It was an accident.
Oh. Man, that's delicious. That's delicious. I think I'm gonna eat the rest of it by myself. I used to sell gas station equipment to the gas stations in Mexico, Mexico City, Monterrey and stuff. The main route was from Matamoros all the way to Laredo. Even back then, I was kind of a foodie, you know, and I would drive the street on the other side of the river. So I would always stop along the way and eat at different restaurants. There were different nuances, little different flavor profiles along the way, all frontera cooking, but You say Frontera style on your trailer. What does that mean to you, and what can people expect when they come out to your trailer?
So it's comida frontera sin fronteras. I think food shouldn't have borders. So being from over there, I want to showcase all the food from the regions, and not just from like Brownsville area, but like all along the fronteras. Like you were saying, it's so diverse. It's very different. A lot of people think it's one thing, and it's kind of not. Even if you're in Brownsville and you're in McAllen, there's like two separate things. It's like very different.
Yes. Now, one of the things that I get often is that we're Tex-Mex. You like to say no Tex-Mex. What does that mean?
I don't have anything against Tex-Mex food at all. It's just something we don't do, or something I didn't grow up eating, like food just covered in yellow cheese and stuff like that. Tex-Mex has a complicated history.
Yes.
There's a lot of good and a lot of really bad. Pushing away, but also kind of taking back. I feel like the comida, like I said, I grew up eating and stuff from back home. People just call it Tex-Mex just because it's Mexican food in Texas, but I don't necessarily think that's Tex-Mex at all.
I think one of the things that a lot of people don't remember or realize, Texas was Mexico not that long ago. And so I can kind of understand what you're saying, because where I'm from in the valley and you are, that was Mexico at one time. And so a lot of our food, it's not Tex-Mex. It's pretty much Mexican food the way it was even back then.
I think it's important to have those conversations. That's one of the reasons why I also have it on there, to create conversations and talk to people about different things. So seeing the people and having conversations, to me, that's like, I love that. Like, I love having a conversation with somebody about different things. If they read something about Con Todo, they ask about it. Like, let's talk about it. Representing the RGV over here feels really good to see people like happy and excited about it, or people that have never had food from back home, and they love it.
So we marinate our bistec with, we have our own little seasoning that we make in-house.
Okay. So you already have the meat seasoned with your own little seasoning.
We cut it up and then we season it. It cooks all the way through, but it's still very tender.
A little bit of oil on the tortilla makes them nice and soft, right?
Yeah, it's just classic with Bistec Estilo Matamoros is some cebolla asada. Can't have it without them. That's a part of the Con Todo.
I like the way the purple onions look in there too. It adds that little pop color, really nice.
Some queso fresco, good amount.
That's Brownsville, baby.
And I'm gonna go classic. Instead of doing guacamole on this, I'm gonna do some slices of avocado. Here we go.
Bam!
Salsa?
Yes.
Limon, for sure. Cebollita. All right, my friend. Now this is what I call yumbly in the tumbly. Cheers. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, this is how you eat tacos. Sometimes they're messy, and long as they're delicious, that's all that matters.
And with your hands, not a fork and a knife.
Right on. What about served in a silver smoke thing?
Super savory, super delicious. The meat's perfectly tender. And I like that extra little salt kick that the queso fresco brings in. But I gotta say, these are probably the best ones I've ever had.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's what makes it Estilo Matamoros. The queso fresco, the aguacate, cilantro, cebolla, that and the salsita.
So if somebody goes down to the valley, Brownsville, across the border, they're generally gonna get a taco with that queso fresco on top.
If you order a Bistec Estilo Matamoros, that's where it'll come.
I have a present for you. This is a big old 2 pounds of chile piquin. Anyway, I wanted to give these as a gift to you because I know you're gonna put them to good use.
Definitely.
That's one of my favorite all-time chiles is the chile piquin.
Want to try one?
Let's do it.
Cheers. Boom. Terry, I need a beer. Woo! It's got a bite. That's a good one. Chef Joseph, thank you so much, man, for hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it, man. Friends, if you're up here in Austin, you got to come up here to Chef Joseph's Con Todo food trailer. Boom!
My mom was cooking one time. She was cutting carrots. I asked her if I could help. She said no, because I'll cut my finger. And I was like, come on, just let me try. So she let me try, and I was cutting the carrots, but she didn't know I had a ketchup packet right here. It was already open. And I went, ah! And it all squirted everywhere, and she was freaking out. It was hilarious.